Hello everyone, this is Angela from RestorationDruid.com, and this video is to explain to you how to do Professor Putricide Heroic on 10 man. One of the changes to this fight in Heroic is the Unbound Plague, which has just been cast on me. The Unbound Plague will last for 60 seconds, but increases in damage every second, and you want to pass it after about 12 seconds. To pass the Plague, you must come within 3 yards of another player like I'm about to do with the Shaman on my left. He now has the Plague, and I have what's called Plague Sickness. While you have Plague Sickness, any damage you take from the Unbound Plague is increased by 300%, so contracting the Plague again while you have Plague Sickness will prove to be deadly very quickly. The hardest part of this encounter is mastering the Unbound Plague. As you can see, our ranged and healers naturally start to form an arc around the boss, so that the Plague can be passed from one to another without having to run through the raid and accidentally infect extra people. It also sometimes becomes necessary for a melee to run out and hold the Plague, or even a tank. Although when we first began, we thought it might be useful to have different positions for people without the Plague debuff and with the Plague debuff, in the end we found that it was much easier to just be vocal on Vent about who has the Plague and who they plan to pass to next, as well as who's available. This way you could start moving towards that person and they could start moving towards you, and everyone else knew to stay clear. It's also useful to add the Plague Sickness debuff to your grid or heal bot. This allows you to easily see who has the debuff and who's able to take Plague from you. However, ultimately, your decisions will want to be made based on audio communication. All of the normal conventions for Phase 2 still apply in Heroic, including stacking for green ooze, kiting orange ooze, avoiding malleable goo, and avoiding the flasks on the ground. You now have the added complication of doing these things while not spreading the Plague to people you do not wish to spread the Plague to.
That makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows. For there's no blue Monday in your Sunday
The other difference between regular and heroic Professor Putricide is that instead of stunning everybody for the two transitions, he will instead put out both a green and an orange ooze at the same time. As you can see here, I have a green ooze reading me while Puck kites an orange ooze around. It is important that your A-bomb has full energy when you go into these transitions so he's able to slow both oozes. It's also important that you watch Professor Putricide's health closely so that you can choose to push him in when you don't already have an ooze, or you'll end up with 3 oozes at one time. Phase 3 is the same as the non-heroic version of the fight, however you also have to deal with the Unbound Plague, so you need to stay spread out so that you don't accidentally pass the Plague as soon as it's cast on you. To buy a little more time with the floor space, we try to drop our first slime pools on the left before ultimately moving Professor Putricide to the right around the room. Ultimately, your success on this fight comes down to how successfully you can communicate with your guild and pass the Plague around. Best of luck to you and your guild on this encounter.